past few days, I've had a song in my mind all the time. What the world needs now is love. And we come this morning and we sang love if we give it away. Then Chrissy sang 2 songs with love. And that's what I chose for today's speech. Because I chose the first principle of the fruits of the Spirit, which is love. And I will read the King James Version. And it said, love suffereth long and is kind. Love does not envy, does not parade itself, is not puffed up, does not behave rudely, does not seek its own, is not provoked, thinks no evil, does not rejoice in injuries, but rejoices in truth, bearing all things, believes all things, hopes all things, and endures all things. Love never fails. We have found out that love have been written for the beginning of the ages. We've had novels, we've had poems, we've had songs. The movie industry has poured out. And yet, the world still needs love, because love becomes a conditional thing. Love has become something that we sort of say, I love you, but. I heard the other day on TV, and this man was talking and says, well, I was in love with my wife. I was in love with my wife. When they took that vow, it was forever. And he says, but she's about 30 pounds too much, and we fuss over that. So there's a condition. That wasn't real love, because when you love the person, in that loving, that she would be motivated to lose that weight. But criticism does not that. So we find that in early, as children are growing up, they learn love from us. And it's very important that we as parents or the teachers or those peers that are with the children should be very careful, because love does not criticize. And I saw the other day a woman at the market, and she was scolding a little child, and she was you're useless, you're mean, you're stubborn, all the negative aspect. What is that child going to grasp onto in his subconscious mind? And then he'll grow up disliking what he is, disliking his mother. And we see the anger that grows out of this. It's like a cancer growing. And we see that in the world today. Every time you pick up the newspaper, somebody's killing this one, that one, the husband killing the wife, the child kills the mother, the father, and this goes on. We, as positive students, we need to be aware at all times. This is not just because anger has no place in the home. It has no place in the workplace. It has no place on the street, and it has no place in the schools. I was witnessing one time anger in the street. And I was not even aware until it happened. Somebody cut somebody off, and it was right here in Long Beach. And I was just sitting there, and the next thing I thought, oh my goodness, what is that? Maybe that's flat tires. They just blew up. And little did I find out that there was a man followed the guy where I was, parked, and he shot this guy. And I didn't realize until I was ready to get out the car. The guy fell down. So look at this. That moment of anger got him to do something unbearable. But got caught up. I've been cut off so many times, and I said, well, if you're an accident waiting to happen, I don't have any part of it. You can go ahead, because I'm not going to gain but a few minutes. In the Bible it says, be careful lest the thief shall enter. That thief is the one that keeps you from the peace of mind, from contentment. I'm lucky in my family because we were raised pretty fundamental, and we stuck to the principles. And it seems we've never, in all the years that my brother-in-law, and they've been married 50 years, and my sister and I, we've never had an argument. We're always laughing. We have so much joy to think about. we share each other good times. We've been there when she's been in the hospital, I've been in the hospital. We share those things, those moments, but they're part of life. But never, ever have anyone spoken an unkind word, because a child is sensitive. He takes that on and he'll never forget that. They take him to the psychologist and this and that. And it's done right there in the home, because this is the beginning. This is the beginning of society. So if we don't take that time, because many of the parents, they have very little time, but they forget that the children need their time too. And it's better to take 1.5 hours with a child, even if you come, because I used to work, I used to get home late, and by the time I fixed dinner, we were eating about 6:30, but there was always that moment we sit and talk, and that proved to be so wonderful. So what love is to be given freely with no thought of return. That love should sparkle, because if you notice the love that when a child gets, I had a little niece, and she was about 8 months old, and she got a little puppy for her birthday. When she saw that, her eyes lit up like a Christmas tree. She had the biggest smile on her face. Don't you think that every part of her body was demonstrating this beautiful feeling, this wonderful feeling of happiness, total bliss? She grabbed that puppy and she clung to it and she hugged him and she wouldn't let go. And this is the kind of love that we need. It's a pure love, the child love. And it's important for all of us, parents, brothers, sisters, fathers, mothers, that we bring this message. I've seen this man sitting on bench, maybe he's resting, and I'm walking down and I always say, "Sir, have a nice day," or "Miss, have a good day." And they turn right in shock, because nobody's directed some kind word to them. And I think this was what I chose to be the topic of today, because we should have let that devotion for God so powerful that nothing can depart us from God. And we have the strong affection for those loved ones, our relatives, our neighbors, our children, our fathers and mothers. And this is what it takes, a coordination, is this love into that one aspect, that we are created by a loving God, so we can express that love toward everybody else.